You guys give me a second. I'm trying to come up with. I'm trying to like think of this on the fly.
Think of it. This is not a fake story, okay? We tell
No,
authentic,
no, it's not.
real stories.
As it. I'm trying to pick which one.
Ah, yes,
Uh,
yes.
you know what? I think I am going to use the Gator story after all. So, and I even freshman year, I even wrote an English report on this. Okay,
Oh no.
I wrote an essay on this story. And so basically, I was a very young child, and what happened is we went down to Florida for vacation, right?
Yes.
We brought our exchange student along, who had never really gone to the coast before, even though she lived on an island called Japan. She never really went to the coast, aside from going to the airport to come to our place. So first off, she was basically more sibling to me, at least in my opinion, than a lot of my siblings were. And so I always hung around with her. And so we were going out to this little like bouncy trampoline thing in the middle of the water, right?
Yeah.
And so when we got out there, people started like screaming, yelling, and come back, come back. I didn't know what was happening. All I know is I see both my brothers and my sister just dip into the water. And I am confused. Keep in mind, I can't even swim at this point. So I'm like, yo, what's up? And all I see is like 3 alligators drifting over on the other side of the water.
Oh, God.
And so I just see this exchange student hug me, toss me on her back, and she just dives. And she's swimming as fast as she could. I am just, doing what I do best and cry. And we eventually do reach shore. They kind of curved to go after us a little bit, and then gave up halfway because they realized they weren't going to get near us. And we figured out the reason why they were going over there was because there was actually a dead child alligator floating in the water that no one noticed, and apparently the parents figured that out. It just goes to show that sometimes your family isn't who they say they are, They'll lead you to alligators.
So I have a story. So, it's multiple stories, kind of. I don't know. Yeah. Okay, so I was in the 7th grade. It was my first year at the school I've went to. And I took robotics because, I don't know, seemed like fun. That was a mistake. Anyway, so there's this teacher. I'll call her Miss Donkey, right? She hated me. She literally hated my guts and everything I lived for. All right, I won't lie. Okay, I was a bit on the bigger side when I was in 7th grade, and one of the times she's like, "Yeah, I hate fat kids," and literally looked directly at me.
What the fuck?
Like I don't know what was wrong with her, right?
I want to slap the hoe.
So pretty much. Like this girl, this teacher, she would pretty much just antagonize me and my friends, right? So one time actually, she told me to do my homework, and I said no, I don't have any. And she's like, do it now. I'm like, fine, whatever. I'll like try to think of something to pretend to do. So I like go down to my bag, right? I didn't say anything. She's like, what did you say? I'm like, I didn't say anything, ma'am, with all due respect. And she's like, no, you said something. What did you say? Literally, people across the class like, he didn't say anything. You're crazy. And then she said like, you said a naughty word. Go down to the counselor's office, or we'll call him Mr. Awesome. All right, we'll go down to Mr. Awesome's office, right? And Mr. Awesome was like, so why are you down here? And I'm like, bro, I don't even know. He's like, what did you do? I'm like, she told me to do my homework, and I said no. He's like, okay, well, that was your first mistake. I'm like, yeah, I know. He's like, is that it? I'm like, no, she thought I said something when I didn't. So, that was fun. Another time, I've had a lot of fun experiences with this teacher. She said boys and girls do something. And keep in mind, 7th grade for me was 4 years ago? Yeah, 4 years ago. So, you know that big Helimachopter, attack Helimachopter meme was going around?
Oh,
Yeah, I used that to my advantage, baby. I'm like, I was like literally dying of laughter this entire time. I was like, ma'am, I am not a male or female. And I was like dying of laughter. Everyone around me knows what I'm about to say. She's like, what are you? I'm like, I'm an attack Helimachopter. And she's like, what? Go down to Mr. Awesome's office right now. I'm like, okay. I have 2 more experiences with her. One more. So at this point, it was not a robotics class anymore. It was a study hall. How do I say this? She Kim Jong-unked it. It was her class. It wasn't anyone else's. Not a democracy anymore. It was Kim Jong-un style. No food, no electricity, no nothing. Right? No water. And those were the exact rules. You couldn't go on Chromebooks or phones. You couldn't eat in the class, and you could not have any drinks. So she literally North Korea'd us. So she was talking about, for some odd reason, graduating high school when half of us haven't even hit puberty yet. And I still don't know why. So she was like, some people will flunk out of high school. You know what she does? You know what Miss Donkey does? She looks directly at me as I'm saying that. And this was like near the end of the year. I'm like, dude, I'm done. What's your problem with me? And she's like, I don't have a problem with you. And sends me to the back of the class. So me and my home dog, we'll call him Shrek, right? We played rock, paper, scissors while he was in the front of the class and I was in the back. So that was pretty cool. And there was this new teacher, Miss Puff. I knew I wasn't gonna like Miss Puff because the science teacher prior was the coolest man ever. You know, we had like math help. I had math help for my 7th period, which now made me a math whiz. We didn't do anything. We literally like went outside half the time, and I got trucked by my friend. I like did a backflip. That's irrelevant, but still cool. Anyways, so Miss Puff, I'm not even kidding. The first week of her arrival, you know what she says to the class? My 8-year-old is smarter than you. Well, not you, but like you guys. Yeah. You know, like that's one way to get a class to hate you. And she was doing science. I don't know. I didn't really pay attention to that class. She had a lot of notes though. I kind of hated it. So pretty much. So Miss Puff just didn't like me, for good reason. I'm not saying I was a perfect student, but I was pretty cool. I was apparently a popular kid, so you know that's fooled me. Yeah, I got carried off of Hunter's back to being popular, but you know I did popular kid things like make people laugh, right, and say dumb stuff to teachers. And she honestly. Yeah, she probably deserved to do half the things she did to me. But it's still funny. So, yeah. Anyways, you know, so she would just keep doing all this stuff. I would keep saying dumb stuff because I'm just that kind of guy. And I had this absolute I had Miss Puff for 2 periods in a day. I was math help, I think, because I just wanted a free period, and science. Last 2 periods of the day. So she was already mad from all of her other classes. I was mad from my classmates. So it was just not a good mix. Pretty much, it was me. I want to say my friend Aiden, and I think maybe my friend Juan and Mr. Acronium. I'm pretty sure. Or maybe not Acronium. I don't know. I had a bunch of friends in my class, and I talked a lot. And she would put me across the room and I would still talk. I just wouldn't shut up. To the point where we didn't do anything in that 7th period. We would sit down, look forward in our desks, and not talk. We couldn't do anything. We couldn't do classwork because that would involve talking and noise and all that. I think we could only read. But I didn't have a book. So I just kind of sat there. And I'm forgetting something else. Hunter, what else am I forgetting?
I don't know.
There's one more Oh, my parent-teacher conference with her. So my parents are most definitely a fan of my comedy. They find me just the absolute best. Nah, I don't really know. But my teacher obviously didn't feel the same way, and I had a C in that class, so it was like mandatory or whatever that I had to go. Like, parents had to go or something. I don't know. It's kind of dumb. But the first thing that she says to my parents. Now I would love to quote Miss Puff on this. Your son, Mateo, pisses me off.